It's the Pesto Pod, the Pesto Pod, the Pesto Pod.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Pesto Pod. My name is Julia Leahy. You might know me on TikTok as @morepesto, Today, I am joined by hilarious human.
Hi, I'm Talia.
Pronounce your last name for me?
Lichtstein.
Yeah. Talia Lichtstein, everybody.
Yeah. Hi, I'm so honored to be here.
I'm so honored to have you. Introduce yourself, your life, your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations.
Oh, gosh. All right. I live in New York City. I'm originally from Los Angeles. Not proud of it, but that's who I am. And I've been here for 2 years now. I really love it here. What else? I've been making TikToks fairly, what's the word I'm looking for?
Regularly?
Consistently.
Sure.
Yeah. Since summer 2021, which is when I graduated college. I went to school in Northern California.
Oh, you're not that much older than me.
When did you graduate?
23, just in May.
Oh my God, yeah, I'm 2 years.
Oh
yeah.
my God,
I thought you were older than me.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm a kid. I'm on my parents' health insurance.
Well, a lot of people are until 26. So am I. I'm still on my
I go to my
parents' health
pediatrician.
plan. Oh, that's baby stuff. But that's okay. Did your baby doctor put in your
I really like
IUD?
her. She's super nice. No, girl, she's my uterus is empty as hell.
So she prescribed you birth control?
Mm-hmm. Well, I
Your
go to a regular
pediatrician?
gyno. I go to an adult gyno.
Oh, see, mine's combined. Like,
Okay.
I just, do my gynecology. I go to One Medical. This isn't sponsored. But I love One Medical. It's everything all in one spot.
I'm really scared to get IUD.
You know what? I don't want to not include everyone's experience, but I find that it was more
way to validate everybody out there.
People get mad when I say this. Actually, it's been a point of contention.
Did it not hurt you?
I had a really easy time with it, and it's never caused me any trouble, and it's really made my life easier and less stressful. And when I recommend it to people, they're always like, but it hurts a lot of people, and some people have complications, and that's true. That is true. But statistically, if you look at like the big picture, there are less complications. I just think that people who do have complications are very loud about it in the name of normalization. So it makes it seem like everybody who has an IUD experiences excruciating pain or complications. And that's not the case, is what I'm saying. So if you're thinking about getting one, don't let anyone scare you, is my advice to you.
This message has been endorsed by
Yeah.
that was like a campaign speech. Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm about to get really real. We haven't even introduced the topic.
I know.
The first time I ever got a pap smear, it hurt so bad, and then when I left, I bled for days.
Really?
A pap smear.
Okay, so everybody's
play.
different.
So I was like, there's just no way I can handle copper shoved up my cooter.
You know what? I got the pap smear at the same time as the copper. So maybe
the first one.
Yeah, and I walked home.
Oh my God.
Isn't that maybe maybe I do, you know what? Maybe I can't speak on this topic.
Maybe you're made of
I have a high pain tolerance. I hate people like that.
I've seen people record themselves getting it.
Yeah, I recorded myself.
Did you really?
Yes.
And
I'm not going to say it didn't
screaming.
hurt. It hurt. I also made a TikTok recently getting another pap smear. It was time. And people were like, oh, see, look, you're experiencing pain. It's like, I'm not going to be smiling and having a super chill time. But I'm just saying a lot of people are like, I could never get an IUD because I could never take the pain. And it's like, it is bearable.
It's
it is
for
a lot of people.
Second.
It's for a second.
It's like a tattoo.
For some people, it's not bearable. But for most people, it actually is.
And
you know what I mean?
While we're on a high horse.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't make available pain meds if you want it.
What do you mean?
It is a procedure that totally you could get some sort of topical numbing, and they don't give you any.
Oh yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
Are meant to feel pain.
Oh, it's ridiculous. To be a woman is to, what's the fucking quote? To be a woman is to feel, to live with pain,
suffer.
I think you're absolutely right. Another thing on this topic, that's really bugging me.
Should we change it to vagina?
Let's just change it. We went straight into it.
Vagina.
Really don't like the anti-birth control movement that's happening, disguised as a health movement.
Oh, they're like, it hurt my body.
It's don't be taking birth control because it's blah, blah, blah. I'm not educated enough to give my full rebuttal as to why, but I will certainly direct people in the direction of videos once I get them. That I've seen and readings I've read about.
She's scholarly. She's scholarly.
About why it's very non-coincidental that this like anti-birth control, trust your natural body clock movement is coming at the same time that they're taking away abortion. Stop going off your birth control just because you saw a TikTok about it.
Look at you.
Birth control is very important.
Yeah, I've been on the pill for probably like 5-6 years now.
Yeah,
I've never had an issue with it.
Yeah,
I think people who have bad experience with being on the pill are the ones you hear from the most.
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
No one like is like, yeah, the pill doesn't bother me, and then is like making a TikTok about it.
I'm not saying that the pill doesn't suck. It really sucks that like
some people
you have to alter your
entire
entire
body. I've
body.
gained a little weight from it. Thus is the way.
It's the way. I mean, the pill, women's birth control is far from perfect, and I'll complain about it all day long.
Sure.
But these like fake health gurus telling you go off your birth control and not giving any alternative for like endometriosis or all the other problems that women experience that birth control is like the only solution to, and just being like, just trust your natural body clock at the time when the government is reversing Roe v. Wade. I don't trust it. I don't like it. Don't do it.
Do you know this girl on TikTok? I don't know her name, but she is all for women's like the natural circadian rhythm and the moon and whatever.
Yeah.
Which like love the moon and sun, I suppose.
Whatever.
But she made a video. She's like, get ready with me. She wakes up when the sun rises and she goes outside so that the sun, like the first thing her body experiences is the sun. I'm like, okay, well, who the fuck's gonna do that? I work a job, you know what I mean? And no, so also I live in this fucking hellhole where there's smog blocking me from all natural light. And she only eats raw food. She eats raw beef and raw eggs.
She's like one of those crazy pit bulls that's being fed like chicken heads and
quail
chicken eggs.
Raw secreting organs. I love
That's
those
also
videos.
not good. I love watching them like crunch on the bones.
I love watching a
but
lab,
it's not
like,
good
go
for
to
your
town
dog.
It's not?
No, it's really not.
Really?
I also looked that up because I was curious. Like, is this legit? It is really bad for your pets to raw feed them.
Really?
Yes.
But aren't they from the nature? Like a wolf? They're part wolf. Well, like not your fucking Shih Tzu, but
like, they're not anymore. Like, we're from nature. Should we be eating raw meat, like raw caribou meat? Well, actually, no.
Kangaroo hide.
I think a lot of Native American communities eat the caribou meat. Am I making that up?
And they're slaying.
But I don't think it's raw.
Oh.
Or even if it is, I don't know. There are some people
really
who just know how to eat it, but the normal American cannot consume that.
I'm really, really, really into the Native American sustainability of meat.
Oh,
They have meat down to a science.
I love that. Who is the girl? She recently got her face tattooed. She does the throat singing with her mom.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yes,
I can't believe I forget her name. I love watching. Maybe that's where I thought caribou meat from. I think they do eat it.
They eat like
and the beluga whale.
Beluga whale.
I'm obsessed. I really want to try the beluga whale.
Have you ever seen one?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're not allowed to hunt them. Only they're allowed to hunt them.
Yeah, because they do it sustainzy.
Yeah,
they do it in a way that doesn't fucking wipe them off the face of the earth.
I'm obsessed with that girl.
I'm obsessed with that too. I'm also obsessed with I get a lot of Maori TikToks.
Okay.
That's the New Zealand
native,
indigenous group, and they do the
haka.
Yes.
Oh my god.
It's so
me
cool.
So
and they do it. Are you serious? My fucking snake plant, cunt?
Sorry. You have a real plant back there?
Yeah, she's $15. Don't you see the price tag that I put on display for everyone?
Anything real living in my house. I really respect that. But yeah, the haka's incredible. Oh, I wish I knew how to do it.
No, and they have a like term for it that I don't know, so I'm sure I'm not being the most educated, but they have a facial expression they do when they're doing the haka that they like widen their eyes.
Yes.
And it's fucking metal as fuck, and I love it.
Can you imagine being the other team and watching that?
No, and I really
I don't
my
know pants.
I don't know if I could ever perform one as a non-Maori person, but I would love to be included.
Oh my god.
If anyone out there is planning a haka,
it's incredible. It's so cool.
Every day of the week.
I'll watch like compilations all night.
Yes, and they
Yes,
Dwayne The Rock Johnson does them because he's like
right.
He's some sort of oceanic, I don't know, but
Pacific Islander.
Yes, but they get into it, and I love it.
Oh my god!
I eat it up. The haka. Okay.
I eat up the haka.
I eat up the haka. I do. Anyway, the topic. Oh, I'm going totally out of. I don't know anymore. I'm going out of order though.
Okay.
I usually start the Pesto Pod with the Pestori of the week.
Right.
Yeah. Have you? Do you know? So I like to talk about the whackassery that has happened in my life as of late.
Okay.
Mine is that, so I've talked about this before. I recently started Rover. I dog sit.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and they come here.
That's so
I got
fun.
little dogs running around. Yeah, it's so fun.
Make good money from that?
Not at all.
Really?
Not at all. Well, okay, so my profile on Rover, it's like new to Rover. So like who's gonna give their dog to me knowing that I'm new? So
that
I like
sucks that they put a tag on your profile.
They do. So I make my rates really cheap so that at least I have like a little edge.
Right.
So I get $28 a day.
But that's kind of fun to have a dog. It's like you're getting paid to hang out with a dog.
Honestly, it's like so mentally stimulating for me that I'm like,
cute?
I'll do it for free. I had a dog last night. I had him till like 1 a.m. because his mom works as a nurse. She works like night shifts as a nurse.
Yeah.
So I had this little angel baby puppy, and his name was Legend, and he was a legend, and I fucking loved him.
Oh my God.
And he had a face that could sink 1,000 ships.
See, I would totally pay to hang out with the dog, so it's nice that you got paid.
Yeah, $28.
$28.
And his mom forgot to drop off. He's only trained on like puppy pads, and she forgot to drop him off, so I had to go buy them. So I think I made zero money.
She didn't pay you back for the puppy pads?
I didn't ask her to.
Okay.
I'm a horrible business person.
I'm bad about that too. When I would babysit, I used to like Uber the kids everywhere because I didn't drive, and the parents would be like, "Let us reimburse you," and I was just embarrassed to have Ubered them.
There's a pigeon on my AC unit. Can you hear him?
That happens to mine all the time too.
They wake me up in the morning with their little songs.
I know. I say hi to them every day.
Back to the topic at hand.
But that's so fun.
So that's it. Like yesterday I had my little pup, and it's kind of gross when you think that he's just like pissing in my house because it's a puppy pad.
Whatever.
But he was so cute. I didn't care.
Yeah.
And like
so
better
cute.
than on my couch.
I really want a cat, but I don't know if I'm responsible enough.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not a cat person.
I didn't think I was. As I said, having anything living under my roof as my responsibility, I cannot be trusted. But my friend Paul gave me his cat.
Paul. Hey, Paul. No,
Yeah.
I was just
Shout out to Paul.
I was just like saying
Shout
hey
out
to
to
Paul.
So Paul gave me his cat for like a month, and he went out of town.
Oh my God.
And this cat and I think about the cat every single day.
I was gonna say though, do you want a cat or do you want Paul's cat?
I want Paul's cat.
Okay, so that's
It was
therein
like-
lies
but
the problem.
It was such a special experience for me. No one has ever treated that cat better. Like I
was say no one's ever treated me better.
No
than
one's ever
the
treated
cat.
me better either. But we really had a special bond, and I became when people say like, oh, the nurturing, the motherly spirit will come out, because I don't want children. They always say like, oh, it'll come. I say no. But with this cat, it came.
It's nice to go to sleep with an animal with you.
It was so amazing.
That's a feeling that's really hard to replicate with anything else but an animal.
I just love, and now it's like, it's become a new thing where I just can't stop thinking about cats, and I don't know.
Get one.
My fear.
I think there's like an overflow in shelters. Plus, cats are like, they're everywhere.
I know.
Find one on the road. Go sit outside for long enough. You'll find one.
I'll find one. But the cat, the reason I love that cat, it was so affectionate, so easy.
That's not
would
always the
allow
case.
me to pick it up no matter what. If this new cat that I get isn't like that, I'll be really upset that I even got one.
Well, here's my argument with dogs versus cats. Dogs, it's so easy to tell if a dog likes you. It'll just be like, you know, a cat. I have no idea what that thing is thinking. It's so unpredictable.
I do, because I'm a good cat mom.
Okay, well, can't relate.
I could tell, baby. I knew that cat would never love anyone the way it loved me.
Did you know you knew it wouldn't hurt you?
It would never hurt me. It would never hurt me. Like the way that cat looked at me, the way that cat, we really were in love.
What's his name?
Crazy girl.
Oh, her. She, her.
Yeah.
Crazy girl, she, her.
Crazy girl.
Love her.
Okay, what's our topic?
Oh, yeah. Well, you didn't tell a pest story.
Oh, yeah. What is it, an embarrassing story?
Just like a wacky story.
I embarrass myself constantly every second of every day. I just started Lexapro.
Stop putting this on.
Oh, sorry.
It's going to be like...
I know. I just started
I love
Lexapro. Really? You like it?
Yeah.
It's fine.
What
is that about?
So.
Okay, yeah, see? So I'm trying to not be embarrassed by every single thing I do. So I'm hoping that'll kick in. But what else?
I think sometimes it makes me tired.
Yeah.
I sleep a lot.
Yeah, I'm really tired. I went to bed last night at 11 and I still slept until 10.
Delish.
Kind of crazy.
That is like porn to me.
It's incredible, but like I don't want to be sleeping in that much.
No, I don't love sleeping in, but I love going to bed.
Yeah.
I love leaving an event to go to sleep.
Yeah, I get it.
I love it.
Me too. My pest story is well, okay.
Take your time.
Last night or the night before I flew in on the red eye from LA to New York.
Oh.
I went to LA for work and I came back.
This work?
Yes.
Okay. Wow, look at you.
Look at me going. I know, a little tax write-off. I came home on the plane and I was bored and I ate 2 full bags of hot Cheetos.
Yum.
And then I came back and the hot Cheetos, it was
shit.
time to come out.
Right.
The way my butthole felt, like, that in itself is the story. There it is. I just want to make that announcement. If anybody, you know what, there are surely people who don't like me, whether you're like an incel that I embarrassed and you wish death upon me, or if you're just a person who like sees me on the For You page and is like, oh, she's so annoying.
Just know she's suffering in silence.
I need you to know that I received all of your negative energy last night, and it was channeled straight out of my asshole.
Last night on a red eye?
It was last night that I started shitting. Yesterday morning I flew in. So last night I was fighting for my life on the toilet for like an hour and a half, and I want you to know,
I've been there.
when I was sitting there, my phone died too. So it was just
there was
me
nothing to do.
and the toilet bowl.
You and the
alone.
wall.
And I want you to know, if you've ever had any form of a negative thought about me, I got it.
To fruition.
I caught it last night with my butt cheeks, and it burned. Okay, you got your karma. It's like that TikTok sound that's like, I should make
Karma
that
has
TikTok
his kiss
actually.
for me. That one.
No, the one that's like, I'm already there, and it's hell. You know?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna make that.
I was thinking of Emma. M Wee is the name of the TikToker, and she's like a little kid in the car, and she's like, "Karma's got a kiss for me." Do you know that one? I'll show you later.
It's bats. I love Halloween.
It's freaking bats.
It's freaking bats.
I love Halloween. I love her. Have you seen her lately? She's like fucking 14.
She's like an adult.
Hate it. Okay. Well, actually, really quick. Have you ever shit on the plane like that?
Have I ever had that type of shit on a plane? Not that I remember it. I would remember.
Okay. I had food poisoning in LaGuardia.
Were you the Delta person?
I literally opened that article because I was like, was it me? The Delta pooper. No, I've been in LaGuardia. I've made so many TikToks about this. People are probably like, we're so sick of hearing about how you shit in LaGuardia. I had to scour LaGuardia looking for adult diapers. I was on the phone with my mom crying, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I have to buy an adult diaper. Like, there's no answer.
Oh my God, it was that bad?
Butt pee.
But wouldn't it stink up the whole plane?
Do you know butt pee?
Butt pee.
Butt pee. When you poop so bad, it's just butt
It's water?
pee. Yes.
Yeah, no, I've had that. That's what was coming out. I would have just gotten on a different flight. Was there another flight coming?
And it wasn't even, not only was there other flights, it was like a flight home for the weekend to visit my parents. Like, it was, if I didn't make the flight, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. But they don't sell adult diapers at LaGuardia, if anyone's wondering. They don't sell
good
them.
to know, yeah.
I sobbing, sweating, threw up in the Uber, threw up in the bathroom, threw up in the car. Like, I just should have gone home. I shouldn't have gotten in the Uber.
Right.
So not. Okay. I ended up having to ask the flight attendant really kindly for a blanket, and I put it down on the seat under me. Luckily, it didn't need to like really be used.
Right.
But like, it was an atrocity.
Oh.
It was like one of the worst tragedies to happen on a plane.
Did you tell the flight attendant, I'm going to be in here for a while?
No. I was sitting in my seat.
Oh, and it happened?
No, like the whole morning, like I just was not, like, could not stop shitting. And then like I told, like, if the seatbelt sign's on, like,
right.
I live upstate. It's like a 90-minute flight. The seatbelt's on. The seatbelt sign is on for most of the flight.
Right. I
was like, I'm gonna need like a blanket or something to sit on. So embarrassing. And the flight attendant knew me. I love your videos, by the way. I was like, damn, that one.
That's the worst. I'm sorry. It's the worst thing ever when you're in like a vulnerable spot. And there's nothing better than somebody wanting to express. No, it's lovely when somebody wants to express like their their
my
love,
God, of
or
course.
it's so hard. It's such a hard thing to even complain about because it's a lovely thing.
Thank you so much. Love you. I'm so glad you recognize me. Like, that's so nice. Thank
Please
you so
get
much.
me a fucking diaper.
I have to go pee out of my butt.
Oh my God.
Butt pee.
No, the other day I was in Aritzia, which is already the most
That's already
terrifying
scary,
place you could possibly be as a woman. And as I'm getting in the dressing room for Aritzia, which is like the trenches, it's the scariest place you've ever been.
Guerrilla
It's
warfare.
Guantanamo in there. This woman comes up to me and she's like taking my clothes, or I came up to her to like whatever. She's like, by the way, like, I love your videos, blah, blah, blah. Can we get a selfie? Of course, I'm like so honored, but I'm like, when I'm about to be naked, like, can we not do this right now? Like, really, you couldn't have waited till I was walking
naked and then cry about
right, like, I'm gonna try on
in
these
clothes.
stupid leather pants in front of everybody and cry because they're not gonna fit. And she's like, I had to ask her for another size. I was just so embarrassed, and it was sort of like, why don't we like do this as I'm walking out of the dressing room before I have to be naked in here? Maybe I'm being too nitpicky. Obviously, I would never take it out on her, but in my head, I was sort of like,
While you were talking just now, do you ever get told you look like a celebrity?
yeah. Who do you think?
I want to say like, don't look at me. I want to say
I won't be offended.
maybe Amanda Bynes.
Really?
Do you get that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, I love her.
I was like, I don't know if it's Amanda Bynes or one of the Olsens.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, as
People
you're talking, I
say
was like, who is
Kristen Bell.
Oh yeah, you don't like
Yeah.
that though?
No, it's fine.
Yeah, you do.
They're all nice, yeah.
Yeah, Kristen Bell's great.
Oh,
She's got
thanks.
Dax.
Oh, that feels good. Oh, I hate Dax.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're the most annoying couple because it's like you clearly hate each other.
I don't think they like each other in real life.
If
Yeah.
you talk this much about how marriages work,
Yeah.
you guys fucking
And like
hate each other.
he's like they've been in and out of counseling and everything. They're very candid about it. I'm like, okay, so I don't know if you guys are like doing
I
great.
love honesty about, real relationships, but it's like at a certain point.
I know, like, how weird is it to go to work with your husband? You're doing like a dishwasher ad.
it's
Like when we're
like
washing dishes, and it's the two of them.
two
For real.
people who I also don't think like each other because they try too hard to tell the world that they like each other. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. I can't wait for them to break up.
I think. Oh my god, preying on the downfall.
I'm not praying on a downfall. I'm just saying, like, the day that they do, obviously, I think they have children, so I don't want them to
you
break
don't
up.
wish
But, like, the
them
day
to
that
be
they
children
do,
of
I will
divorce.
not be surprised.
I think the vibe I get from them is that he likes her a lot more than she likes him.
I think it's the opposite.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he tries so hard to make it like, I'm a good husband, I'm a good dad,
but
I'm
he's
such a
an
nice
ass.
guy, but I think he's secretly an ass.
Huh.
This is all my opinions.
I know. I have nothing to base it off.
Yeah. I think I'm like a good judge of character. And I'm also such a hypocrite because I'm like, ugh, I hate when people say like, oh, this girl gives me bad vibes, because I'm like, okay, misogynist, like you just don't like her. But when it's a guy, I'm like, yeah, no, he gives me bad vibes. I don't know why.
Terrible energy. Virginity.
When'd you lose yours?
I was 18.
Yeah, I was 18 too. I lost it. You know what? We're coming up
How
on an
boring.
anniversary. I lost it.
Do you want? I would have made you a cupcake or something.
I know. Well, it's still a month out. I lost it on Halloween, my freshman year of
Freshman year
college. Yeah.
What were you dressed as?
I was dressed in a weird, it was actually very flattering.
It was the Mean Girls bride, zombie bride.
I wish. No, I was, I'd not yet discovered my I'm different quirky Halloween costume moment in college. I was a cowgirl, I think, but it was like a jumpsuit. I remember, I specifically remember it
really
being a full body jumpsuit because I had to take it all the way off and all the way on every time.
Dude, that full body jumpsuit sucked to just piss.
I know. I was like butt naked pissing.
Yeah.
And I guess, I don't know, I was having so much fun that we ended up having sex multiple times that night at different points of the night. Like meeting up throughout.
That's crazy.
I know, especially because I was like bleeding like crazy.
I didn't really bleed.
Well, I did lose my virginity technically.
Oh, you're one of these.
Before.
What did you ride a horse? Ride a bike?
No, but I wish. I thought it was broken, but I had
L'chaim.
never been able
It's a
to
myth.
put in a tampon before I lost my virginity.
Oh, you okay?
Which was a weird thing to me, but I just like, I don't know. I figured I'm just not ready for a tampon yet. Like it wasn't going in. So in college, I was like, okay, it's time. Like we gotta have sex. We gotta use a tampon. It's time.
Before you continue.
Yeah.
I think there's a very big pressure. Like when you get to college, you're like, you haven't had sex yet.
Oh yeah, big time pressure.
Big pressure.
Big time rush.
big time rush. And I know so many people who didn't have sex until more recently, and they're like just as normal and happy, and they're not weird.
Well,
so it's like not that big a deal.
I don't know. Is virgin or virginity still an acceptable term? I don't want to offend.
People are like, it's a horror. It's a
nuanced
like a weird
idea
concept because you know what? I do think this. I think getting your clit licked, for lack of a better term, is way more intense, intimate, and like up in there than losing your virginity. I
still haven't gotten totally comfortable with it.
No, me neither.
I'm still freaked out by it.
So if you do that, but you don't stick it in, like you're not a like.
I've like lost my virginity, but have I gotten comfortable with being eaten out? That's my real virginity. And no, I haven't.
Still hasn't gone away.
Yeah, I still hate it. Okay, but.
Sure.
So yes, we will let's consider that this is a nuanced topic, complicated conversation for everybody. Virginity means something different for everyone, even that pigeon.
Do you hear the pigeons?
I do.
I'm scared they're gonna come in. Sorry.
Well, anyways, my vagina had to be cut open essentially.
No way.
I couldn't.
You had an imperforate hymen?
I had an imperforate hymen.
Shut up! I know so much about this.
It wasn't totally imperforate because my period was able to come out.
Right.
But it was like.
Like
nothing was getting up there.
This is how I describe it because I have a friend with this.
Yeah.
So a normal vagina, imagine like a glass of water.
Yeah.
You can like stick your fist in the glass.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. An imperforate hymen would be if you took the glass of water and you covered it with a balloon.
Yeah.
And then you just poked a hole in it with a pencil.
Yeah.
So like ain't nothing else getting it. Like sure, like stuff could come out. But that ain't right.
I vividly remember like multiple guys throughout high school and my first year of college like fingering me.
And you being like, eat.
And then being like, I can't get it any further. And I'm like, I thought that was all the way in. What are you talking about?
There's more?
I couldn't imagine how a penis would even get in there because I didn't understand that my vagina was like more than a half an inch deep.
Well, that's why, that's why you need to talk to your kids about sex.
Yeah, you do.
Because if they don't know.
You do. The care and keeping of me was not enough. I was reading that book,
American Girl.
Care and Keeping of You. And it was like, all these girls had holes in their vaginas, even in the little illustrations. And I'm like, something's wrong with me. When will it be my turn? So I tried to have sex like 4 times with different men.
Must have hurt.
And they kept telling me like, Talia, I don't think we should have sex anymore because you're can't.
Wincing.
And I gotta say, like, it hurt me at the time, but you can't blame them. Like they weren't able to have sex with me. I couldn't give
They
them
must
sex.
have walked away even like, man, my dick is
My
huge.
dick is so big. No, but then the final time after I went to the doctor and they told me that, I think they might have like opened it up a little bit. I remember there was a little scalpel and some numbing cream involved. But I don't think they did it all the way. They were like, it's going to hurt. You can just keep on pushing, or we can like kind of like make a little incision here, widen it up. And then I had sex with this guy on Halloween and he really pounded it in there good and just popped it. And I was bleeding everywhere. And I remember telling him like, oh, it's my birth control. Haha. I wasn't on birth control, but I had my birth control.
They would have no man would have any idea if that was wrong.
No.
They don't know.
He was like, oh, it makes you bleed. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. No worries.
Totally. I have the copper IUD.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. I've also had an abortion though. So
really,
that's a good topic. That's a big
great
one.
Topic.
I feel kind of self-conscious talking about it now because I speak about it with such ease.
Can I ask questions?
Yeah.
Was it like just you take a pill kind of thing?
Yeah, I took.
Okay,
well,
so
it wasn't like one pill.
Early.
It was very early.
Yeah, but you didn't.
They
have to,
asked me if I'd gotten pregnant on the way there.
What?
I remember the lady saying that, which is funny because I also watched Cecily Strong on SNL talking about her abortion, and they said the same thing to her.
Oh my God, kindred spirits.
Kind of funny, I know. But what was I gonna say? Oh, I get a little self-conscious because I talk about it so freely, and to me it's like a funny
oh my God,
thing.
I've never seen a video of you talking about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, people have commented like, okay, we get it, you had one, and it's like maybe I do talk about it too much, but I really just find that it's a luxury to be able to talk about it when so many people can't.
I agree. You know who's had an abortion? Phoebe Bridgers.
Really?
Yeah, she talks about it. She's
Good.
queen, so.
Good for her.
So if Phoebe's doing it, you should do it too.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
No, that's interesting. Was it like painful? It's supposed to be really crampy, right?
It was very painful. It was. I went in there.
Would you recommend having a buddy?
You know what? I didn't planned on having a buddy, and like a true friend, my friend insisted on coming anyway.
Oh, nice.
And I think until the very end of it, I was kind of annoyed to have a buddy because I like to cope with things alone.
Sure.
I really do not like when people are like,
We've taken a dark twist.
Yeah, I know. I don't
Continue,
like
though.
when people
Continue.
are like up in my space. Like,
I don't blame you.
what can I do for you? It's like, it adds another thing for me to deal with. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm grieving something or whatever, it's like, get away from me. Like, I want to be alone.
Yeah.
But
I also, I struggle with, I love so much being like the funny, quirky,
yeah.
that like for me to at all have to be like, no, I'm actually sad.
Yeah.
Like, is so embarrassing.
It's so
and
embarrassing.
so like, that's not who I am.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I'd rather
Sorry,
just
not to
have the alone. No,
not to interrupt
exactly.
your
I feel
trauma.
the exact same way. I'd like rather just be alone. I don't want to
Yeah.
have to deal with like, at the end of the day, you really are making other people comfortable when they're offering their help. Like, you have to keep telling them like, no, like when people say, oh, thanks for texting to check in. I do that for other people who I know want me to check in, but for me, don't fucking check in, because me having to respond to you is like another thing that I have to do now.
Sure.
Like, just fuck off, you know? But so my friend insisted on coming, and at first I was annoyed. But as soon as I was there, I was like, thank God she's here. Because I had to sit there waiting for a long time, and I was really freaked out. So I was really happy she came.
Your parents, was that a weird conversation?
I never talked to them about it. They would have been entirely supportive
Yeah.
and helpful, probably.
Good.
Would have found me a clinic. So
That's
I
a California
didn't have to,
parent if I've ever heard of one.
I know. They were wonderful. They would have helped me find a clinic or something so I didn't have to go to Planned Parenthood. Like, they would have found me something that was covered by insurance, maybe.
Thank God for Planned Parenthood. Fund it.
But I was so scared to have the conversation.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't know if I would.
I don't know why I was. And I think I probably maybe later offended my mom a little bit that I didn't tell her. But I just couldn't for some reason. And
well, it's like awkward, and
it was
just
awkward.
uncomfy and
I
weird.
just felt like if this is something that I can do and avoid the awkward conversation, I will do that.
Yeah.
So
and you did.
it wasn't like a slight to them. It was more just like, I don't feel like it, so I can do this by myself, so I'm gonna. So I did.
Minute slay.
Yeah.
No, I just actually this summer had I get very irregular periods, and it had been probably maybe 2 months since I had gotten it.
Sure.
And I had sex unprotected. So I don't know why I waited this long, but I went to my I went to my mom and I was like sobbing, and she was like, "Did you take a test?" And I was like, "No." She's like, "Why the fuck wouldn't that be the first thing you do?" And I was like, "You're right." So I went to she was like, "Go out, buy a practice test." Because my mom's the best. She doesn't give a fuck.
Right.
So I went to take a pregnancy test, and I went to my local pharmacy, which is right next to a Hobby Lobby.
Okay.
And I can't resist. So
how fun is that? What a fun little outing for you.
I went to the pharmacy, and then I was gonna go home to take it, and then I was I kind of want to go into Hobby Lobby, but I'm not gonna be able to shop at Hobby Lobby and wondering if I'm pregnant or not. So I took the pregnancy test in the bathroom of the
Hobby Lobby,
which is hilarious because they're run by the fundamentalists.
Oh my god!
And then I shopped. I bought such great home decor. I bought that little birdhouse thing that's in my living
You were in such a good mood that it put you.
Yeah, and I was do.
Oh
and
my
I was,
god!
shopping at Hobby Lobby buying garlands and shit for my apartment.
You're incredible.
I know.
I'm so happy you had such a fun experience.
I love. There's nothing more
You
empowering
treated
than taking
yourself.
pregnancy tests in the Hobby Lobby bathroom.
I never even took a pregnancy test. I just knew. How in touch am I
She
with
smelled
my
a
body?
change in the air.
I just felt the
Sniffed
change.
it out.
I felt something different. I really did. I remember a couple nights before I got really dizzy at a party for no reason, and I hadn't drank anything.
You were.
And I was pregnant.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I know how, and I'm never in touch with my body.
It's a girl.
People ask if I'm jet lagged or tired. I'm like, I don't know. I really don't know. But I knew. I also knew it was a boy. I just knew. I was like, oh.
And his name was
I just knew it was gonna be a fucking annoying boy. So
had to get rid of it.
The guy that I got
had
pregnant
to
from,
go.
I was like, it's going to be a boy. So gross. So I missed my period, obviously, but barely. It was at the point still where the period could be 5 days late. This is why having these heartbeat laws is so stupid, because people don't even realize that they're pregnant until after.
I get TikToks all the time of people who still get their period.
Right.
And then they have those cryptic pregnancies.
Yes,
where
and they
they're
don't
like
know.
in the bathroom at their fucking like cheerleading function and they pop out
a baby.
Fetus.
It's just so
Disgust.
disgusting the way that, like, I don't know, these
your
laws
feet away
don't
from
matter. Sorry. Anyways, no, I had I just had a feeling, and I think I missed my period, and I had known that I fucked up with my birth control the day that I had sex, and I knew that I was like,
this was
probably
pre-copper.
fertile. Yeah, this was pre-copper. I just knew I was being a little irresponsible on my part when I had sex, and I knew. And yeah, that's what happened.
And do you regret it?
Are you kidding me?
Look at that.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Look how easy that is.
Oh my God. Are you kidding? It was the most important decision of my life, because my parents and I have made so many important decisions in order to bring me to this point in my life. And all of those decisions would have been void.
Absolutely.
Had I not had this choice to make.
Absolutely. So I went to Catholic school. I also went through a period where I wanted to be an OBGYN. I think just to kind of spite the Catholic school, be like, I'm going to work in vaginas and you guys are going to be like, whatever. Turns out I can't do blood. We'll come to that later. But I shadowed an OBGYN.
Okay.
Horrible. Worst day of my entire life.
Really?
I mean, like, she's a slayer. Like, she
what
lives.
made it so bad?
Well, I saw a C-section and I was fine. No, and I was fine. I don't know why. It was like very like, this is just Grey's Anatomy. I was like in the theater or whatever watching, and I was like, and what? They were like, and they use a lot of force in there. They're like, like ripping her open, and she's just chilling. She doesn't feel anything.
Oh my God.
Then I saw a completely natural birth, and I fainted.
Flipped out. Yeah.
I fainted, woke up in a different room with a bloody nose because I fainted and I fucking hit the linoleum tile.
So does that mean that you would want a C-section?
I don't even know if I want to be a procreator.
Yeah.
I probably do though. And no, I'll probably do whatever they tell me to do. I'm not really picky, but it was so well also I would get an epidural. That's the answer.
Right.
This woman wanted nothing. I think she was a former addict because I was in the high risk pregnancy wing.
I see.
And it was all teen moms and drug addicts.
Okay.
And people they had like a big screen in like this back room with everyone's like vitals so that they can like watch everyone at once.
Right.
And people's like blood pressure would spike, and then the nurses would be like, I think she just like got high. I don't think it's anything serious. I was like, oh, in the hospital? Okay. It was crazy. So this woman had no drugs, anything. And it was like to see the baby coming out of her, absolutely ripping her in half, and knowing that she could feel it, it just made me fucking... I was already feeling dizzy. The baby came out. I remember the baby coming out. Then they delivered the placenta. Disgusting. I've told this story so many times. To everyone else in the room, I'm a person in scrubs. They don't know that I'm not like a medical professional. I was 16.
Oh.
And they go, would you like to see the placenta? Because they think I'm like fucking...
Well, did you?
No, I took one gander at it and I fucking ate tile.
Oh my God.
It's the worst day of my whole entire life. I'm
still traumatized from Knocked Up. That last minute in Knocked Up.
I know what you're talking about. Katherine Heigl.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible. Absolutely horrible. But all this to say that I went to Catholic school and they had a pro-life speaker come, as they do, just like in Lady Bird. Just like Lady Bird.
Awful.
And it was mandatory that all the students go. And I was being taught by Sister Carlene, a nun.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Sister Carlene, I'm not going to this. And then she was like, and why do you think you have like the right to be exempt? And I was like, because. And I told her, like, I shadowed this OBGYN. I saw fucking people younger than me giving birth. I saw drug addicts giving birth. I'm not fucking subscribing to this unless someone has seen what I've seen and been in the trenches. I'm not doing this.
Right.
And then she heard, and I was saying statistics. I was like rattling off facts. And when I was done, she was like, okay, you can have study hall. And
wow.
I was like, fucking... So I know
incredible
deep down
that
in
she
Sister
gave you the
Carlene's
out.
heart. Yeah, I know. Deep down in that nun's heart, she's a little bit pro-life.
It's...
I mean,
she for
pro-choice.
Sure pro-choice. It is so hard for me. The amount of like true vitriol I feel towards those people. I think there's few people that I hate more in the world than people who try to
Nuns,
no, not nuns necessarily, but people who
pro-life
are
protesters,
quote unquote pro-life, and really
I could have a whole episode just on that.
I
hate them. They're so stupid and
on so many
hypocritical.
levels and for so many reasons. There are a few people in this world. The combination of stupidity and hatred is like so it gets me in a very specific place in a way that like most conservatives don't even get me.
And do you watch Brittany Broski at all?
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
Broski
I love
report? She
her.
just talked about this. It drives me absolutely fucking crazy when those people use Christianity as their defense.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's insane.
Like obviously you've never fucking read the Bible a day in your life. I'm not even particularly like super religious.
Yeah.
But I went to Catholic school for 12 years. Like I know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. It was like shoved down my throat with peace and love. There is no way you read the same shit I read and think what you think. That's
Right.
crazy. They're all about like feed the fucking poor. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Give the poor what they need. Like, what's the problem? Jesus like ate with the fucking prostitutes and hookers, and you're gonna tell me I can't like go into your
Right.
church right now because of my fucking open-toed shoes?
And these are the same people who are so all about supposedly togetherness and helping others, and they don't pay taxes. And I get that that's like a huge part of it, but it's like that, even that to me, with like the first time I learned about that, I was like, whoa, what do you mean? What do you mean they don't pay taxes? And I get that places of worship don't need to. I understand that that's always been the law. But to me, that's so fundamentally like, what's wrong with them? It's
Those
like
crazy mega churches.
all of
you know
those,
how much
those
dough
mega
they're raking
churches
in?
need to. Joel Osteen or whatever.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, he's like the preacher guy, like the famous. Like these people are like famous
Who like
influencers
sells out
for
stadiums?
preaching. The Kardashians have like a quote unquote church that they
Do
funnel their
they?
money through. Yeah. You wouldn't believe how many people have religious.
Great idea for
Um,
money launderers.
You know,
Open a
that's,
church.
I should say that's alleged because I haven't read about it in a while, but I do remember reading about that. A lot of famous people launder their money through having a foundation of some kind that is Christian or religious in some way.
Yeah.
And then they don't pay any taxes. They donate to their own fucking charities.
I hate that.
It's
That's
just
what the CEO of
gross.
Hobby Lobby does.
Greed and disgusting like obsession with money and more and more and more. It's just like, ugh, it drives me insane. Like,
And
nothing.
then they're so offended when I say I want to slurp the fetus
yes,
out of me.
Yes.
Get over it.
No, seriously. People get so upset.
Have you ever been face to face? Someone's like, that is disgusting that you did that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna look
People
you in the eye and say
people
that.
I thought I loved too. Like
Yeah, that's so fucked.
people that
Well,
I
like,
really
I
like.
understand like a grandma. They
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah. There's certain people that you have to understand that you can never talk about it to.
Oh, God,
my
yeah.
entire family, I wouldn't bring it up in front of everybody in my
Well, yeah, it's
family,
not
but
Thanksgiving
nobody would
dinner
call me like, fuck you.
conversation.
I've had a nanny like person type of thing for my whole life. I've had the woman who took care of me,
Sure.
helped raise me when I was younger. She's very religious and she's been a part of my life for forever. I would never dare tell her that I did this.
Doesn't she like follow you on things?
No.
Okay.
And she doesn't know anything about it, but I love her to death, and she's like a huge part of my life. She was my nanny. She helped raise me, but
Yeah.
I don't know how she would react, but I don't want to know, so I'm not going to.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame you.
You know, but she was raised very religious, and she's from a different culture, and I don't know, it's just different. We're from different backgrounds, but yeah.
I get really annoyed when they're talking about banning birth control, like in general, or any sort of abortion, like Plan B.
Yeah.
Okay, do you know how many times I've taken Plan B? I'm going on like 4. I don't think it works anymore.
Child's
for me.
play. I took Plan B every single week
Oh my god, it doesn't work for you
of
anymore.
fall semester.
You know that it gets less effective?
That's a myth.
I don't know.
I'll tell you how I know that's a myth, because I taught us at the same time that I was doing this. I was teaching a high school sex ed class.
That's my dream.
I taught it through
How
this
the fuck
program.
did you get us to do that?
I need to find the name of the program. I loved it. Highly recommend. I taught it as for some credit in college. I went to the nearest public high school and taught this class.
I bet they loved you. Did
They didn't. They
Okay.
really didn't. And it was weird because
They hated
typically I
you.
love kids and I love being a camp counselor. And I do think kids do like me. It's like my second passion in life is like being a counselor teacher type.
Yeah.
These kids didn't like me.
Okay. Well, they're old, probably high school.
I think they were high schoolers. They were getting to the end of high school. So that's probably why.
Oh,
This just actually broke. Okay, anyways.
that's a sign.
It's a sign that I should shut up. I taught this class and I told them they were like, how many times can you take Plan B? And I was like, it's like you know, the more you take it, it's like an antibiotic. The more you take it, the more it wears off.
That's what I was thought.
But that's not true. But
No
I taught the
way.
kids that.
Okay,
Sorry.
then I'm fine.
But anyways, yeah, I did take the Plan B every week because I like had a little boy toy that semester, and I hadn't switched birth control yet after the abortion. So I was taking Plan B like twice a week. Like he was. Like,
My god.
isn't that insane? Like what I was willing to do instead of just asking him to wear a condom
Or to pull out.
or to pull out.
Jesus.
I like actually can't believe I did that. I must have been so weird emotionally and probably like
that
dissolved
one is
my
a little
uterus.
questionable.
It's really bad.
But you gotta do what you gotta do to get by.
Yeah.
No, but people are like ban Plan B. Okay, you know how every fucking college girl is gonna be so shit out of luck. You know how many pregnancies will come if you ban Plan B?
Not to mention pregnancy. Do you know how many people will die because of that? Because their boyfriends will shoot them
Oh my god.
because they don't want to have babies.
Sure.
You know how many people? You know what the biggest cause of death is for pregnant women in the United States?
birth?
Murder.
Oh. Oh.
I don't understand. First of all, it's a very sensitive topic for me, being somebody who like talks about incels and whatever online, and like
Sure.
I see the effects of like these people like Sneeko and Andrew Tate, whatever,
Andrew Tate.
actually like
Fucking
really
crazy.
affecting young boys, and these young children are internalizing these thoughts about dehumanization of women, and like just the degradation of women turns into violence very quickly and easily. And when you take away women's ability to not be pregnant, men will just decide when they don't want to be dads, and that means killing women.
That is such a like claim that I've never considered, but you're so right.
Yeah.
Um
And my cousin died of childbirth. So I'm very, very,
Really?
yeah. So I'm very passionate about this entire situation. And that's a person who desperately wanted a baby.
Oh,
So,
that's really
like,
sad.
It
I'm
sucks.
so sorry.
Oh, thanks. But yeah,
Bummer.
this is a big, big problem, people. Sorry to turn it all sad, but it is.
I was gonna say something so important. Oh, there's always also like some elaborate. I watch a lot of true crime. There's always like some case like this person killed this person. There's rumor that they were pregnant with their affair or whatever. Okay, and they're always like either really religious or like fucking like Brigham Young Mormon like teens that like whatever, and it's like. You don't even know, they're not even aware of how much like in the real world, like no one gives a fuck that you had your kid before you were married or like whatever, or your kids have different dads.
Right.
My mom has 2 kids from different dads and we're slaying, and like no one fucking cares.
Right.
But they're so like in their world, you know, in this like religious, like that's all they know. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like they don't know that if they just left, like if you left the community, like the super religious community, and came to like fucking New York City, and someone would be like, "Oh, you're a teen mom, okay, slay.
Right.
Here's you want to come to this like fucking I don't know. Like,
It's
no
a
one
shame
cares.
that people just don't.
It's so not taboo anymore in the real gist
in
of
the
things.
real world, technically, yes. But even so, there are certain places in the world, like in those communities, where it'll never get through to them that it's not
You're
a taboo.
right.
Like
I
not.
didn't word that.
No,
as how I
I think
wanted
you worded
to.
perfectly. But like, and people get what you're saying. But like, no matter how many times you try to tell them, like the real world outside of this community is like this, it will never matter to them.
It's the same thing with gay people,
Yes.
right? Like in their communities, like I'm gay. Oh my god, it's the end of the world. Like no, literally, there are so many places in the world you can go, and it's like okay,
Right.
and you're literally fine.
And the more people come out and the more people normalize this and are represented on screens and whatever, the more gay people there will be, and the harder it will be to deny
This
that
turned
being
into-
gay is okay. But there are still always going to be places that just don't care.
No, you're right. This
Yeah.
turned into such a statement.
Such
episode.
a statement episode. Wow.
Okay.
We were
Okay.
originally, I came in here thinking we were going to talk about
The
witchcraft.
topic was witchcraft. What did you mean, like casting spells?
I was obsessed with the idea that I was secretly a witch when I was a
Did you
child.
make little potions?
Yes, and I
Like
had
with,
a
like, grass?
wand, and like I was obsessed with like doing spells in my room and trying to make things. I would stare at cups for like hours trying to make them move with my mind, and
my
I
God,
was just
Matilda.
convinced that I hadn't gotten good at it yet, but I could do it.
That's hilarious. Well, we didn't go the witchcraft route,
I
but
know.
I'm happy with where we ended up. Birth control will be
Yeah,
the
birth
title
control.
of this episode.
Not that we know enough
Not
about birth control to
witchcraft.
talk about this.
I know we're not.
This is not like an
we're just two
educational
women
episode.
who take birth control.
Yeah, we're just two girls who take it, which means we know everything there is to know.
True. I'm also really weirded out really quick. I'm almost out of I can see my little battery going low. I'm really weirded out by people who are anti they give birth but they don't go to the hospitals.
Oh, they do it at home?
Yeah, but they don't even get ultrasounds or anything. They're unmedical births.
I just think any rejection of Western medicine is a bit strange to me. I get that in some like places or whatever, some cultures, it's just like part of it and it's not whatever. But people who just want to do it for like goop's sake, like they just want to be like a Gwyneth Paltrow and be like, I'm not going to doctors anymore, and all I need is Eastern medicine.
Yeah,
I can do
oil.
everything from home. I just like think that there is like legitimately it comes back to the birth control thing full circle. Like, oh, I don't need to take birth control. I can just like follow the circadian rhythm.
Just take
like,
it.
just
It's
take
there.
it.
It's there. Yeah, it needs some perfecting, but it really has come in handy for me personally.
Or just don't take it, but don't go telling young girls that they shouldn't be taking it is the point. Like, you can't be telling people to be against Western medicine when it's like very, very helpful and important.
I wonder, is there a way can you be under 18 and like get birth control prescribed without getting your parents like consent? Because there's probably a lot of people who want birth control but don't want to have that conversation.
I believe you can.
Okay, great.
I should know offhand what those places are, but once we post this, we can post it on Instagram.
Oh,
We can do a little infographic.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow, this went so many directions.
There's a place
but I'm
on my
happy
Instagram where you can get an abortion by mail. I know that.
No way! I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm gonna save that to bookmarks for no particular reason. Talia, tell them where to find you.
Oh, I have a new podcast out called Basic Training with my friend Jake Cornell. He's a comic and he's way funnier than me.
It's with Jake Cornell.
You know Jake?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you should have him on here. He's so much better than me.
I think I don't know if he would think I'm funny.
First of all, not that matters. You are extremely funny, but it doesn't matter what he thinks of you, but he's going to think you're funny. But no, he's the best. Like
Oh my god. Okay, well,
He's
if you guys
my better
have guests, I'm available.
oh my god, anytime. So yeah, please go listen to it. It's on Apple and Spotify.
Yeah, Jake Cornell is and you're hilarious.
Oh,
He's a
thanks.
funny dude. No,
He is so much more
quick-witted.
you know what he does that we always talk about? He edits in his head as he's talking, and he finds a way to concisely make his points in an informed,
That's not
educated
something
way.
I've learned how to do.
And he doesn't share things that he doesn't actually want in the podcast. Whereas
Crazy.
I talk before I think, and I will not form thoughts fully and say things that I don't want to be said, and I have to edit after. So Jake doesn't do that. So
Sounds like
Jake's
he
really
knows what
responsible.
He's an ideal podcast host then.
He's a little older than me, so he kind of gets it better.
You have a podcast? What about TikTok, Instagram, anything?
Oh
that you
yeah,
wanna
my
plug?
Instagram, TikTok is just Talia Lichtstein. That's me. But it's mostly the podcast I want to plug.
Yeah, slay. You can find me places. You probably already have found me if you're here. But thanks so much for watching the Pesto Pod. New episodes come out every Friday. And birth control, take it.
Yeah.
Or don't.
Or don't. It's really fine if you don't, but like, don't go off it randomly because of a TikTok. I think is our point.
That's a wrap.
It's the Pesto Pod, the Pesto Pod, the Pesto Pod.